Let's keep it real, the AirPods Max have been a status symbol in the tech world. We've seen them everywhere as a luxury item in airports to TikTok. But for most dads spending over $500 on a pair of headphones that use an old charging port and lack modern features was a tough sell. Well, in 2026, Apple finally released the AirPods Max 2. They've added the powerhouse H2 chip, swapped to USB-C finally, and introduced some new Appleified features like live translation. If you've been sitting on the sidelines waiting for the perfect time to jump into the Apple ecosystem of audio, is this it? Or are you better off with a pair of Sonys and $200 back in your pocket? Let's dive in. Let's talk about the build. These aren't your typical plastic headphones, and they shouldn't be for the price. They're made of machined aluminum and stainless steel, and trust me, you can feel it in the weight of these things. They weigh about 386 grams. That's significantly heavier than the Bose QC Ultra or the Sony XM6. Apple uses a knit mesh canopy on the headband. It looks kind of funny, but they're pretty comfortable. It distributes weight pretty well, so it doesn't feel heavier on any one of the areas of the headphone. But of course, this will depend on the shape of your head. They also grip your head firmly. This is great for noise cancellation, but if you have a larger head, you might feel some pressure after wearing them for a while. I also noticed that when I was wearing my glasses, it only took about half an hour to an hour before I could start feeling some discomfort. So not the best for those who have glasses all the time. I had a hard time picking the color, but decided to go with Starlight. The colors are the same from the last upgrade they had in 2024. I really like these colors. I just hope the mesh part is easy to clean and I could see them getting dirty after using them for some time. If you don't own the previous pair, you need to know why the H2 chip is a big deal. The original model used the older H1. The H2 is what enables the smart stuff. It has adaptive audio. This means the headphones listen to your environment. If you're in a room listening quietly to some music, it will let some sound in, but if your kids bust in the door screaming, it'll push more of the noise cancellation seamlessly without having to do anything. It has conversation awareness, so if you start talking to your kids, the headphones automatically lower your music and boost the voices in front of you. I tested this quite a bit and it's really seamless how I can be listening to music at a good level, then start having a conversation with my wife or kids, and the music lowers and then it doesn't just start blasting the music again. It has a nice roll off back into the music. So Apple claims the active noise cancellation is significantly stronger now. For the short time that I've had them, they do a good job of canceling the sound of the hum of the AC. I also tested it when my son was vacuuming downstairs. Turning the noise cancellation completely took the sound of the vacuum out, and the music was crystal clear. So how do they sound? They're balanced, good mids, and lots of bass. But the big news for 2026 is the wired lossless audio via USB-C. For the first time, you can plug these directly into your iPhone or Mac using a USB-C cable and get 24-bit, 48Hz lossless audio. You'd need a premium subscription to Apple or Spotify to really take advantage of this benefit. So if you're an Apple Music subscriber, the difference in the detail is said to be noticeable. Then there's spatial audio. This is Apple's 3D sound. It works with Apple products that support Dolby Atmos. It feels like you're sitting in a 7.1 surround sound theater. I've tested the spatial audio stereo just listening to music. There are 3 options: fixed, off, and head track. The head track is pretty interesting. The music is locked in one position, so you move your head and you'll hear more of the music out of one of the headphones. Okay, let's get real. The smart case, most people were hoping that this was gonna change, but it's still the same case from before. One problem is it doesn't protect the headband. If you throw these in a messy gym bag with all your other stuff, that mesh headband will get dirty or snagged. Another problem is they still take a lot of space if you're traveling with these things. In the case, they're gonna take up more space than they really need to. Not sure why they didn't make these foldable to conserve space. If you're on a family trip and go to the airport, probably best to just wear them or have them around your neck since you're probably gonna be using them on the flight anyways. For the battery life, you get 20 hours. In 2026, that's honestly just okay. Competitors are hitting 30, 40, even 60 hours. You'll be charging these twice a week if you're a heavy user. For my case, I'm always by a fast charger, so not the worst, but wish with the size of these things, the battery would last longer. Then there's a USB-C finally. You can charge these with the same cable you use for your iPhone, iPad, or MacBook. One cable to charge them all, and now I can use my fast chargers too. A new feature for the Max 2 is live translation. Using the H2 chip and Apple Intelligence, you can actually get real-time translation relayed to your ears during a conversation. I could see being on a family vacation in a foreign country and you're talking to a waiter. Maybe these would come in handy. The Max 2 can listen and give you the gist of what they're saying, which can be pretty handy. There's also Siri gestures. You can now nod your head yes to answer a call or shake your head no to ignore it. Not sure that I want to have that on with all the telemarketer calls that we get. One accidental head nod and now you're on the phone with a telemarketer. Could be useful if your hands are full carrying a bunch of the kids' sports bags and you get that call that you need to take, then I could see it being helpful. So if you've never owned the AirPods Max, is the Gen 2 the one to get? So I'll say you should buy them if you live in the Apple ecosystem and if you want the best in-class transparency mode. Seriously, it's like not wearing headphones at all. And you value the premium feel of metal over plastic. Skip them if you're on a budget. At $549, these are super pricey. Also, if you want a case that actually protects your headphones or you need battery life. Now, if you already own a pair of AirPods Max and they're working perfectly fine, it'd probably be wise just to stick with those. Sure, there's USB-C and some cool new tech, but $550 is a lot. And if you already have a good functional headphone, I don't know that I'd update with this one. So the final verdict, they're the best headphones Apple makes. And for the first time buyer, the jump to the H2 chip and the USB-C make them finally feel like a modern product. So what do you think? Is a $549 price tag a deal breaker for you? Let me know in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more dad tech gear reviews. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.